How's it going, everybody? So, we've been told we're getting another patch to adjust the core combat update. For the previous one, I called it a hotfix patch, a band-aid patch. And I was pretty down on it as it didn't really address any of the major issues that got introduced. Or rather, it just didn't do enough. The patch for next Thursday seems to be shaping up to be a little different though. They haven't given us all the details yet, but Ubisoft did give us an overview of what we can expect. And oh boy, this one got me excited. But what gets me excited isn't necessarily the same as what other people want fixed. So, once more, I want to talk about light spam and the notion that light spam was supposed to get fixed. I mentioned this on Cereso's Honorbound show that I think there is a major flaw in communication here. A massive disconnect between what Ubisoft meant with their wording and what people expected to get. Someone in the comments of the bot specifically mentioned that they'd liked us to elaborate on that, so let me try it. Because we will see this again with this patch. People want indicator changes and slower attacks, when it's absolutely crystal clear that this won't happen and that the shorter indicators are one of the few things actually working as expected. So if you were hoping for that, listen up now. The big problem here is that Ubisoft knows that light spam isn't the problem. We can't quote them on that. Stefan said this on stream, but at the same time, we've had tons of complaints about said spam. So to compromise, Ubisoft implemented multiple additional features that make defending against light spam easier. I've made a whole video about it, so if you've missed it, follow the link. The way that they fixed the issue is by giving the players more tools. Fixing an issue does not mean removing it. People will always gravitate towards the parts of a hero's kit that work best, and there will always be people that cry spam. It is now on each individual player to come to the realization that said issue can be overcome by simply getting better at the game. You don't need to rely on the devs to fix something for you. They've already done their job by giving you all these options. Now it's on you to fix the issue yourself. So I hope this sets your expectations straight for this new patch. I'll go over the points, but the post will also be linked in the video description so you can have a look yourself. First point, they're going to adjust corruption, both on Warmonger as well as in Nushu. At the moment, I consider 4v4 modes with active feats as pretty much unplayable. It doesn't matter whether I won a match or lost it, it never felt enjoyable. The feat majorly disturbs the flow of a match, and I'm very happy that Ubisoft wants to address this. So what can we realistically expect? Most likely they will revert to the old infection version that got buffed a few weeks before the core combat update. This would be the least amount of work as all that code is already available. Simply copy paste. Would that fix the issue introduced with Warmonger though? No, it would not. So I sincerely hope that Warmonger's tier 1 gets changed separately. We cannot have a tier 4 strength feat as a tier 1 feat. It simply makes no sense, and no matter how many hoops you make someone jump through to apply it, it will still stay absolutely broken when it is applied. Having a tier 1 feat that eliminates minions and functions as a complete area denial is just not good for balance. Lowering damage numbers, radius of the AoE, duration of the buff on the weapon, all that is the bare minimum that needs changing. I'd go so far as to remove any interaction with minions, maybe from all versions, but the tier 1 cannot, under no circumstance, still wipe out minions. A tier 1 feat should complement your minion clearing abilities. It should not define it. This change here is what will make or break the introduction of Warmonger. She is so incredibly frustrating to fight. Bringing her in line should be the priority here. But talking about bringing things in line, heavy attack damage is getting lowered. They pretty much echo what I brought up in my video, the risk-reward ratio between lights and heavies, and the time to kill winning ganks. What made me and a lot of people really happy to read is that they mentioned the second week of testing grounds. Damage will be similar to what we had there. And that sounds pretty appealing. Will the damage numbers be perfect? No, they won't, because it's absolutely impossible to please everyone. And it's also extremely hard to quantify each and every move and assign it the appropriate damage value. The big thing is though, that all my preaching about making reads, identifying patterns and all that is now easier. Attacks doing less damage allows for you to get hit more often thus making fights longer. This should have been an accompanying change together with the faster indicators. I guess we get it a little late now, but nevertheless, this is a welcome one. Next is zone and deflect damage changes. In regards to zones, all of them have been lowered quite a bit. The versatility of them isn't necessarily offset by the huge stamina cost, so I don't really mind them doing rather low damage. Problem here are outliers that can't be used as option selects and in general have a completely different use. Raider's Zone is a good example here. There is no reason why this type of attack should be low damage, when we have other neutral unblockables like Bulwark Slash that currently do more than twice the damage. So my hope here is that they look at these individually and don't just increase zone damage overall. For deflects, I think it's fine to be somewhere between a light and a heavy parry punish. Once again, deflects vary greatly in how they are used and what they're good for. Some characters can use them as option selects, while others have very niche uses. Deflects are more nuanced than many people realize, as can be seen by the mindless demands when it comes to their interaction with hyper armored attacks. I think the goal with the change here is to just in general make them more appealing to go for once again. The risk is currently a little too big. And the last point is stamina cost once again. Neutral lights will now cost 9 stamina and combo light 6. Now the wording is once again up for interpretation. What exactly is a combo light? What about Zerka's Feint Lights? Berserker is currently one of the heroes that suffers the most from the increased stamina cost on lights and feints. In general, there is a gap between heroes that rely on lights to get their damage in, compared to heroes that have other means. Stamina will continue to be a hot topic for the foreseeable future, as we still have moves that drain a huge amount of stamina, and we also still have Stamina Pause, which will get its own separate video as it is an absolutely appalling experience. And on top of all that, it's limited to only specific heroes, or should I say faction. All in all, this patch is looking really promising, and I hope that when they give us the actual patch notes, they'll have some more surprises for us in store. Well, positive ones I hope. Like, they haven't mentioned any recovery or frame advantage changes, while some characters suffer greatly because of them. Here's hoping. Having said all that, I hope the video was helpful. Thanks for watching. Laters everybody.